Dream of the Red Chamber Chapter 9.
It kicks off not with some big intellectual moment, but a social one.
Right. Bao Yu didn't suddenly get the urge to master the classics. He chose this day because he was desperately eager to meet up with his new friend Qinzong.
Ah, so it's about the friend.
Exactly. He immediately sends someone to fix the date, tells Qinzong to come early. The connection is the engine here. School's just the excuse almost.
And because Bao Yu operates entirely on this sort of currency of affection, the actual preparation for this big day, it's handled by the person who really gets the stakes of his life, his maid, Shiren.
Oh, Sharon is pure operational strategy here.
Yeah.
She's not just packing a bag. She's creating a protective bubble around him.
How so?
Well, she'd already packed all his literary supplies, the Shu, Bi, and Wenwu, perfectly. Then she sits him down for a pretty stern talk.
Okay, the gospel according to Shiren, what's the core message?
It's less about acing his studies and more about pure survival within that Jia family structure. She tells him, when you're studying, fine, focus on the books. But when you're not studying, you need to think of home.
Think of home. What does that really mean here?
It means think of us. Think of safety. Think of the rules we have here inside. And she gives him a direct warning against one now fooling around.
Because?
Lest he run into his father. And she adds grimly, running into Jiaxiang it is not a joke. She knows the danger.
Wow. So she's basically teaching him risk management.
Totally. And she's meticulous about it. She warns him, don't bite off more than you can chew, tan duo jiaobulan.
Take care of yourself.
Yes, shinzi ye yao, take care of your health.
And then there's the practical stuff, the clothes, the heating.
Oh yeah, this is where you see the immense detailed labor needed just to maintain a young noble. She made sure his heavy winter clothes, the Damao Yifu, were packed. And she knew the servants handling the charcoal were lazy. She calls them lanze, lazy scoundrels. So she personally made sure they were stocked up for his foot warmers, his hand warmers.
It's this incredible level of micromanagement.
Which proves that emotional insulation, keeping him safe, is just paramount. His academic success, it hinges entirely on Jiren's care and the competence of his staff.
But Baiyu, being Baiyu, he hears all this practical stuff.
And immediately shifts the focus. Emotionally.
He assures her, yeah, I can handle the outside world. And then pivots, telling her to go spend time with Dayu while he's gone. Don't worry about me.
He delegates his own emotional management back to her, essentially. Focus on Dayu.
Okay, so he has this bubble of care from Jiren.
Which is immediately shattered by the person he really needs to fear.
Yeah.
His father, Jia Zhang.
Ah, the inevitable encounter.
Baiyu goes to the study to say goodbye, only to find Jia Zhang is home early. Bad timing.
And the confrontation is, well, you used the word brutal earlier.
It is. Jia Zhang doesn't offer a single word of encouragement, nothing, just contempt. He jokes that if Bao Yu ever mentions going to school again, he, Jia Zhang, would be ashamed.
Ashamed of his son going to school.
Basically tells him, you're worthless, just go play. Give up now. And then, this is the ultimate insult, he warns him not to dirty the ground or lean against the door in the study.
Wow. Don't even exist comfortably in my presence.
It's a complete dismissal. Right before this supposedly pivotal moment.
That level of open disdain, it's shocking. It really sets the tone.
But then you see the political machinery kick in. The King Ke Hiangong men, the sort of courtesy companions, the hangers-on.
What do?
They step in instantly, like a buffer. Their whole job is managing the patriarch's mood, right? So the lads got to hustle Bao Yu out, saying, oh, old master, why are you like this? The young master's off today, and 3 or 2 years he'll be famous. Smooth things over.
So they save Baiyu from more abuse, basically.
Yeah, but it just shows how tense things are. You have to intervene just to stop a father from verbally savaging his son.
Okay, so Baiyu escapes, but the anger has to go somewhere.
And it immediately transfers to the servants. Jia Zhang demands to know who's attending Baiyu.
And he singles someone out.
Yes, Li Gui, Baoyu's nurse's son. He becomes the primary scapegoat.
This is a perfect example of how power just flows downhill in that family, isn't it?
Absolutely. Jia Zhang accuses Li Gui of basically enabling Baoyu's lack of focus. Says Li Gui, let him learn, Li Yan Hun Yu idle gossip, and Jingzi the Tao refined mischief.
Refined mischief, that's quite a phrase.
It is. And then he threatens Li Gui. Says he'll first skin you alive before dealing with Bao Yu.
Skin him alive, the threats are intense.
The servants carry all the consequences of the master's perceived failures. So Li Gui is, understandably, terrified.
What does he do?
Drop to his knees, Peng Tu Yusheng. His whole head is knocking the ground. You can hear it. He's desperately trying to defend Bao Yu.
How? By praising his academic progress.
Exactly. He claims the young master has already read up to the 3rd volume of the Book of Songs, the Shi Jing,
Okay, sounds plausible.
and then he tries to offer proof. And this is where it becomes truly hilarious. He offers a specific line.
Which is?
You looming he yi fu ping.
Wow.
You looming the bleating of the deer. It's the famous opening of a poem in the Book of Songs.
Okay.
It's legit.
Okay.
But then he yi fu ping, lotus leaves floating like duckweed. That's like a common, almost childish folk phrase. It has nothing to do with the classic text.
Oh, no. He mashed them together.
Completely. He tried to sound educated, but just blended high classic with low folk imagery.
So what happens?
The entire room, jiazing, the companions, they just burst into laughter.
Yeah.
It's like quoting Hamlet and then tacking on a line from Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
Oh, poor Li Gui. That backfired spectacularly.
Totally. It just proves Li Gui has no real grasp of the culture he's claiming Ba Yu is mastering.
And this failure, this botched quote, it seals the deal for Jiazing.
Instantly. Jiazing dismisses the whole idea of progress as Yan or Tu Ling hiding one's ears while stealing a bell. Complete self-deception.
He says it doesn't matter if Bao Yu reads 30 volumes if he doesn't get the real lessons.
Exactly. So if that kind of poetic classical learning is useless in Jiazeng's eyes,
Then what is the real curriculum he wants?
he gives Li Gi a strict, non-negotiable instruction for the schoolmaster, the Tai Yi. Forget the Book of Songs. Forget ancient prose, the Go Win.
Focus on what?
The focus must be ruthlessly narrow. First, thoroughly explain and memorize the 4 books, the Sishu.
The core Confucian texts, the ones you need for the civil service exams.
Precisely. Jiazeng is shutting down any intellectual curiosity, any poetry. It's pure grind. Get on the treadmill for the imperial machine. That's the only path he sees.
He's trying to force Ba Yu into the mold.
And Li Gi, after all this, he's utterly defeated. He pulls Ba Yu aside later.
And says what?
Basically laments his fate. Says other servants gain status following their masters, but he just gets beatings and scoldings. He begs Ba Yu, please be more considerate.
It shows that difficult relationship, doesn't it? Master and servant bound together in this frustration, mostly because Bao Yu just won't conform.
Exactly. It's a cycle of expectation and failure, and the servant pays the price.
Okay, so connecting this to the bigger picture, the school itself, the Jia Family Academy, the Yixu, what actually is this place?
Well, it's maybe not what you'd first imagine. It wasn't some high-status private tutorial.
No.
No. The Yixu was founded by the family ancestor, but more as a charitable welfare institution. It was meant to let poorer clan members, the ones who weren't part of the elite branch, study without having to hire their own teacher.
So more about keeping the clan together, offering opportunity.
Right. Funded by the wealthy members based on their rank, overseen by a Nian Gaoyu Deziren Wei Shuzang, an old virtuous man.
So Jia Zhang's intense focus on exam prep, that's kind of out of sync with the school's original purpose.
Totally out of sync. He's trying to drag this charitable institution into the pressure cooker of imperial politics.
Yeah.
It really highlights his desperation, I think.
Interesting. But once Bao Yu actually steps inside the academy...
He rejects all of that immediately. The political mandate, the educational one. He just leans right into his pixing, his eccentric nature.
And the first thing he does...
Cements that new friendship with Qin Zheng. Instantly.
They become inseparable.
Completely. Coming and going together, sitting and rising together. They share everything.
And does the family approve? Or Jia Zhang's side, at least?
Well, here's where you see the other power center. Ba Yu's grandmother, Jia Mu, completely sanctions this friendship.
Ah, Grandma approves.
She shows exceptional kindness to Qin Zheng, often keeps him over for days, 3 to 5 days at a time, treats him like a great-grandson, even helps him out with clothes and shoes because his family isn't wealthy.
So Jia Mu is providing resources and approval completely outside Jia Zhang's rigid structure.
Exactly. She represents the power of affection within the family.
But Bai Yu's biggest act of rebellion here, it's about status, isn't it?
Oh, massively. It's his refusal to acknowledge the proper generational hierarchy. Because of their different family branches and statuses, technically, Ba Yu and Qin Zheng should have a formal Shuzi relationship, uncle and nephew.
That's the clan rule.
That is the rule. And for you listening, imagine refusing to call a respected elder in your family uncle or sir. Imagine insisting on calling him buddy or just by his first name.
It's a huge breach of decorum.
Huge. Ba Yu insisted they drop the formality. Be just Disiong Peng you brothers or friends.
He calls him brother.
Or by his courtesy name, Jing Cheng. Bai is actively defining his world based on personal chosen affection. And he's systematically dismantling the very clan structures his father values above all else.
Wow, he's really drawing his own lines.
Which leads us right into that final fascinating sequence of goodbyes before he actually leaves for the school.
Okay, who does he see?
He sees Jiamu, his grandmother, first, and then he rushes off to see Dayu.
And Dayu's farewell. It's witty.
Very witty. She acknowledges the high stakes, but playfully. She jokes he's surely going off to achieve great success, using that classic metaphor, Changgang Shigi.
Plucking the cassia in the Toad Palace, meaning passing the highest exams.
Exactly. It's a teasing way to acknowledge the pressure he's under, but maybe with a hint of irony, too.
And Bayu's reply, does he play along?
Not at all. His reply is intensely intimate, ignores the grand metaphor completely.
What does he say?
He tells her, wait for me to come back before you eat. And then, critically, and before you make any more rouge or cosmetics, the Yanji Gaozi.
Wow. Wait for me before you eat, and don't make makeup until I get back.
It's possessive, it's caring, it's deeply domestic. He's essentially saying, don't change anything about yourself. You are mine to return to. It's an incredibly personal moment that really solidifies their unique bond.
Okay, so that's intense. Very specific.
And this is where the major blank space appears. Right after that detailed, intimate exchange with Dayu.
She prompts him, doesn't she?
Yes. Dayu says, how come you haven't gone to say goodbye to your sister Bao? Meaning Bao Che.
And Baoyu.
The text is perfectly clear. He just smiles and leaves without answering.
He completely refuses to acknowledge her. Or the request.
Total refusal. Just a smile and silence. He walks out. The Jaigyu, it's the family school.
On the surface, okay, it looks like a school, classical learning maybe, but dig a little deeper, and what you find is basically a pressure cooker. It's about social standing, hidden desires, and frankly, outright corruption.
Right, and the trouble really kicks off right away, just based on who's even in the school. We're told they're all clan members' relatives. But, you know, that old saying, one dragon, nine kinds.
Holds true here. So you've got this chaotic mix. The text even points out there are some let's just say low-life characters mixed in with the more respectable ones.
And that mix immediately zeroes in on two particular young men who kind of shake things up just by being there. Bao Yu and Qin Zong.
Yeah, these two are interesting. Qin Zong, he's described as, well, shy and gentle. He even has this daughterly manner, is the phrase used. And Bai Yu, he's naturally sort of humble, submissive is the word, also very gentle.
Okay, so they sound pretty harmless, maybe even sweet. But somehow their closeness just ignites everything.
Oh, absolutely. They were so close, so affectionate in this really rigid, formal environment that it instantly sparked nasty gossip, malicious slander, really, all through the school.
Why, though? Just because they were close friends?
Well, in that kind of closed system, you know, any intense bond that's sort of outside the expected norms, it feels like a threat, or at least it's fuel. It becomes gossip because it disrupts the usual attention economy, who's paying attention to whom.
That makes sense. And it ties right into the next layer, doesn't it? This place wasn't just socially charged. It was, well, rotten underneath. To really get the chaos, we kind of need to follow the money, or the transactions anyway, which starts with Supan.
Supan. Yeah, he's kind of the poster child for the school's moral issues. He's technically a student, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly. But the text is super clear. His only reason for being there is to pursue Long Yang. That's an old term for male companionship, often with, let's say, lustful undertones.
So he's not there to learn. He's basically using the school as his personal playground.
Yeah.
And paying for it.
Paying handsomely. He sends the teacher, Giadaru, really generous tuition fees, gifts, basically buying his silence or maybe his complicity. Supan gets zero academic benefit. It's purely transactional. The school is his marketplace.
Wow. So the teacher just lets it happen.
It seems so. He's paid to look the other way, maybe. To let the school become this social stage for whoever has the cash and the clout, like Supan. And before Bai Yu and Qin Zong even showed up, Supan already had his established favorites.
Right. The text mentions two specific students. They're described as charming and graceful. Jinglian, which means fragrant pity, and Ui, jade love. Those are nicknames, right?
Yes, nicknames. And they were previously linked with Zupan. He used his, power and influence, his wishe, to keep other students away from them.
But Supan isn't exactly the loyal type.
Not at all. He's described as having a floating grass personality, fuping singsing, meaning, fickle, easily drifts from one person to the next. So he drops Xianglian and Ui for new interests, And suddenly, these former favorites, they're vulnerable.
Ah, okay. And that vulnerability then opens the door for something new.
Exactly. Xinglian and Yui, despite probably being a bit scared, they secretly develop feelings for Bao Yu and Jinzong, Qinji, mutual feelings.
But how do they even manage that with everyone watching?
Very carefully, very subtly. They can't be seen talking closely, so they sit apart. But they communicate through glances. The text calls it Eight Eyes Meeting, Ba-mu-gulu. It's all coded looks, maybe some veiled language young saying Yulu, literally singing of mulberry while hinting at willow, to express things without getting caught.
Wow, that sounds incredibly tense. It's not just about romance, it's about survival and that gossip mill.
Precisely. Their reputation is on the line. But, well, even these subtle attempts don't quite work out. They don't go unnoticed, and that sets the stage for the big confrontation.
Okay, so how does it actually blow up?
It's like a perfect storm of bad timing and bad people. The regular teacher, Jiadairu, he has to step out for a bit. He leaves the students some couplet to work on, typical teacher thing. But he puts Jiarui in charge temporarily.
Jiru, okay, so a substitute teacher, basically.
Sort of, yeah. And the second real authority is gone. That's the green light. For Qinzong and Xianglian, they immediately use the oldest trick in the book, pretend they need to use the restroom, Chuxiaogong. They sneak off to the back courtyard for some secret talks. Jijihua. Private conversation.
But secrets don't stay secret for long there, I'm guessing.
Not a chance. Almost immediately, another classmate, Jin Rong, interrupts them, and it's not subtle. He gives this loud, deliberate cough.
Jin Rong. Who is he? Just some random troublemaker?
Not random at all. The text tells us he's another one of Xu Pan's former associates, someone Xu Pan also abandoned.
Ah, so jealousy again. He sees Qinzong and Zhang Lin getting attention, maybe? Or just connecting?
Exactly. It's resentment, replacement. And Jin Rong sees an opportunity here. He doesn't just interrupt. He tries to extort them.
Extort them. How?
He basically says, pay me off or I'll tell everyone what I saw. He demands a cut, Chu Tor. A bribe to keep his mouth shut.
In the middle of the school day. That's brazen. What do Qin and Zhang Lin do?
They're furious and probably embarrassed. They do what you'd think. They go straight to the person in charge, Jiarui, to complain about Jin Rong shaking them down.
Okay, so they report the extortion. Does Jiarui do anything?
Well, this is where the corruption really shows. What's Jiarui's angle in all this? Why would he care?
Good question. Is he connected to Xu Pan too?
Oh, yeah. Deeply. The text describes Jiarui perfectly. Greedy for advantage and lacking in conduct. Tupiani made Xingzi. He apparently had a history of helping Xu Pan extort other students. He benefited from Xu Pan's whole system.
Unbelievable.
And there's more. He was also personally annoyed with Shanglian and Yui because they hadn't, lobbied Xu Pan for him recently. Put in a good word, maybe.
So he's biased from multiple angles. Let me guess. He sides with the extorter.
Bingo. He totally dismisses Qin and Shanglian, scolds Shanglian, actually, sides completely with Jin Rong. So the ones who came seeking justice, they just end up feeling completely snubbed. Fan telemeku. Humiliated, basically.
Wow. Okay, so Jin Rong gets away with it thanks to the corrupt judge. That must have made him feel pretty powerful.
Totally emboldened. He doesn't just stop there. He goes on a rampage, mocking them, getting louder, specifically picking a fight with Yue. And this is where the language gets, well, really crude. Shockingly so.
How crude are we talking?
The source lays it out. Jin Rong starts shouting accusations, claims he saw them kissing and touching butts, kinzumo pigu, explicitly sexual. And then he uses this really vulgar metaphor about pulling grassroots to draw lots. Zhu Kao Zhang Shu Changjuan, basically implying they were figuring out who would be the active partner.
Good grief. That's not just teasing, that's character assassination. Trying to utterly destroy their reputation with sexual shaming.
Exactly. It's brutal. And all this commotion, this public humiliation, it finally catches the attention of someone else important.
Qi-Cheng.
Lazy.
Another student.
He is, but he's got more status. He's about 16, described as handsome and clever, a great-grandson from the Ning branch of the family. He apparently lives independently because of some past rumors, but he's still very much connected to the family's inner circle, the powerful people.
Okay, so he sees this happening. Does he step in?
He wants to.
Yeah.
Qinzhong is his relative, after all. But Jia Cheng is smart. He sees the strategic problem immediately. Jin Rong, the aggressor, and Jiarui, the corrupt authority. They're both friends, or at least allies, of Shupan.
So if Jia King confronts Jinrong directly.
He risks messing up his own relationship with Shupan, who holds all the real influence. It's a political calculation.
So what does he do? He can't just let his relative be humiliated like that, can he?
No, but he needs a clever approach. He decides he needs to subdue him with a trick, young Jizifu.
Yeah.
He needs someone else to do the dirty work, a proxy.
Okay, cunning. Who does he get?
He goes for the perfect person, Mingyan. He's Baiyu's most trusted page, fiercely loyal. Ji Cheng pulls Mingyan aside quietly and very cleverly, reframes the whole situation. He tells Mingyan that Jinrong isn't just insulting Qinzong. He says Jinrong is dragging Baiyu's name into the muck, too, linking the insult directly to the highest status kid in the room.
Oh, that's brilliant. So it's not just about Qinzong anymore. It's an attack on Baiyu's honor, which Mingyan would definitely react to.
Precisely. Jia King weaponizes Mingyan's loyalty to Baiyu.
Okay, so the trap is set. Jia King has outsourced the confrontation. What happens next? Does Mingyan go charging in?
Well, first, Jia King makes himself scarce. Very smoothly, he finds an excuse to leave, tells Jia Rui he has to go early or something, ensures he has plausible deniability. He won't be there when the fists start flying, which he knows they will.
Smart move.
Yeah.
So Jia King is out. Now Mingyan steps up.
Oh, yes. Fueled by this idea that Baiyu himself has been insulted, Mingyan drops all pretense of politeness. He goes right up to Jinrong.
Yeah, what does he say?
It's pure aggression. No deference at all. He basically asks Jinrong, why the heck he cares if we fed butt, using incredibly coarse language. He's not asking, he's confronting. Then he basically challenges him to a fight right there. "Come out and move, Uncle Ming," he says, referring to himself with mock respect, which is actually super insulting.
Whoa. So he escalates immediately to physical threats. How does Jinrong react? He was bold a minute ago.
He's enraged, but you can tell he's also terrified now. Mingyan isn't just some student, he's Baoyu's guy. That carries weight. Jinrong makes a desperate move. He tries to physically grab Baiyu and Qinzong, maybe to use them as shields, or threatening to drag them off to complain to their master. He wants to implicate the main players before Mingyan attacks him.
So chaos is about to erupt into a full-on brawl.
Exactly. But just as Jinrong lunges, something totally unexpected happens. There's this distinct whizzing sound from the back of the room. Shh.
The sound, what was it?
An ink slab, a heavy stone ink slab comes flying through the air.
No way.
It smashes into the empty seats where two other students, Jialan and Jiajun, usually sit. They must have moved.
Wow. And the reaction?
Dead silence. The whole room just freezes. Utterly stunned by this anonymous act of violence. Just comes out of nowhere.
It stops the fight cold.
Completely stops it. But it's also chilling, right? It wasn't Mingyan. It wasn't Jinrong. It came from the shadows. It proves the tension wasn't just between those few. It was everywhere. Someone else was willing to throw a heavy object to intervene.
The Jisoo that just, explodes. You think elite school, you picture quiet calligraphy, right?
Yeah, not quite. The source material gives us something very different. We're looking at what seems like a minor tiff that just instantly spirals.
Into a full-blown riot. I mean, we're talking weapons, demands for expulsion, the whole thing.
Exactly.
It reveals so much about the family structure, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Who really has power, who's just related.
Precisely. This fight wasn't just random chaos. It's like the social architecture of the Jia family itself cracking under pressure.
So the big question.
Yeah.
How does the thrown ink slab lead to people grabbing door bolts and calling for the headmaster, essentially? Let's unpack it.
Right. It kicks off with some pretty standard schoolyard stuff, almost. A friend of Jinrong tries to hit Baiyu's attendant, Mingyan, with an ink slab. A fan. Solid.
Aimed revenge, okay. But he misses.
He misses, and that's the first domino. The slab hits the table, shared by Jialan and Jiajun, smashes a porcelain ink pot, ink everywhere.
Collateral damage.
Yeah.
Now, uninvolved parties are literally splattered.
Exactly. And Jiajun, this is where it gets really interesting. He's the one who really ignites the riot.
His Rongguo branch, right. But his mother's a widow.
Yes, and the source makes sure we know that detail. It hints, maybe, at a slightly less secure position in the hierarchy. He's described as ambitious, spirited, fiercely protective of his space.
So he's got status, but maybe feels he has more to prove or less to lose.
Yeah.
And he's not taking this.
Not at all. His deskmate, Jialan, the sensible one, tries to hold him back. But Jiajun lets loose with a curse Hao Kuinang the men, and since he can't grab an ink brick,
He does what?
grabs his entire book box, his shixiazi, and chucks it across the room.
The whole box. Okay, that's dramatic. Pure fear.
Total fury. And just like the ink slab, it misses the intended target, too.
Where does it land?
squarely on Bayu and Qinzong's desk. Books scattered, supplies everywhere, and crucially, it smashes Bayu's personal bowl of tea. One sui chaliu.
Oh boy. So now the mess, the damage, it's landed right on the most important kid in the room.
Yep. That's to the point of no return, really. The fight instantly goes physical. Jinrong, maybe seeing Bayu stuff smashed, grabs a long bamboo plank, a big one.
Like a piece of wood?
Yeah, a hefty plank, and he just whacks Mingyan with it. We've gone from ink slabs to actual assault.
And Bayu's other attendants, they're not just going to stand by, are they?
No way. Chu Yao, Cao Hong, Mo Yu, they pile in immediately, and they don't hold back on the insults either. Really harsh stuff. Xiaofu Yangda, basically calling them illegitimate, attacking their family status.
So it's personal and class-based from the jump. And what about weapons?
This is where it gets wild. Mo Yu grabs a door bolt.
Wait, a door bolt, like off the door.
Exactly. A heavy metal latch for securing a gate. Cao Hong and Chu Yao, they grab horse whips.
Horse whips? Inside the school, what does that even signify?
It's symbolic, right? Tools of outside authority, control, being brought into the classroom. It's like they're dismantling the very structure of the place. The scene is described as boiling dingfei, total chaos.
Students hiding, watching. But where's the supervisor in all this? Jia Rui.
Oh, he's there, flailing around, trying to tell people to stop. But the text is blunt. Listen to his words.
So completely ineffective. His authority means nothing when things actually get rough.
Absolutely zero. It shows his power is just performative, which means someone else has to step in.
The real power, the household management.
Right. It takes Li Gui, a senior servant, and other big servants barging in to stop what the source actually calls a rebellion.
Rebellion. Okay, so fighting stops. Now what? The aftermath must be all about status.
Entirely. First, Qinzong. He got scraped on the head by Jinrong's plank. Just grazed, but Baoyu is right there, comforting him, immediately positioning himself as the protector of the injured party.
And Baoyu's not looking for an apology at this point, is he?
Not even close. He's furious. He tells Li Gui, "Pack my books, get the horses, I'm going straight to Taiye."
The senior master. He's going nuclear, threatening to take this tiny schoolyard fight straight to the top patriarchs.
It's a massive political threat. He's framing it like, Jia Rui let this happen, let his companion get hurt. He knows this will cause a huge scandal.
And Li Gui sees that immediately. He knows involving Taiye is bad for everyone.
Definitely. His immediate reaction is damage control. "Let's settle this here," he says, basically. Why bother the big boss with this little thing? He's desperate to keep it contained.
But how does he plan to do that? Baoyu seems pretty set.
By finding a scapegoat. And fast. He immediately throws Jia Rui under the bus. Right there, in front of everyone.
What does he say?
He says Jia Rui is ineffective because he's usually somewhat improper or unreliable. So you see Bu Jingjing. He openly critiques the teacher.
Wow, calling out the teacher. That tells you everything about Jia Rui's actual standing. His reputation must be shot already.
Exactly. It makes Jia Rui the path of least resistance for blame. But Baoyu isn't satisfied with just blaming the teacher. He lays down his terms.
Which are?
Simple, non-negotiable. I'll come back when Jinrong is expelled or when he apologizes properly. This puts all the focus squarely on Jinrong. And Baoyu twists the knife. He asks Li Gui point blank, "Who is this Jinrong anyway? What's his family?"
Ooh, that's a loaded question. Li Gui must know where this is going.
He tries to dodge it, says, inquiring about relatives harms brotherly harmony. He knows the answer is social dynamite.
But someone else provides it, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Mingyan, Baoyu's attendant, the one who almost got hit with the ink slab in the first place. He yells the answer from outside the window, ready to drop the bomb.
And what's the big reveal? Who is Jinrong?
He's the nephew of a Madame Huang. Huang Den Nai Nai. Sounds okay, right?
Yeah, respectable enough.
But then Mingyan delivers the payload, this Madame Huang. She only gets by because she has to go kneeling to Leonor Anai, that's Wang Shifeng, to borrow things or pawn stuff. Ji Dang too. Whoa. So his family isn't just minor relatives, they're dependents. They survive on handouts from Baoyu's immediate powerful family branch, specifically Shifeng.
Exactly. Jinrong isn't just a bully. He's the nephew of someone desperately reliant on Baoyu's cousin-in-law. He has effectively zero independent standing.
That's brutal. publicly exposing his family's poverty and dependence.
It's devastating. Li Gi knows this is way worse than the fight. He frantically tries to shut Mingyan up, threatens to beat him. He knows this public humiliation changes everything.
The power balance is just completely shattered now. Jiarui must be terrified.
Absolutely terrified. He sees his job evaporating if Bao Yu walks out, so he begs Jinrong, just apologize, do it now.
And Jinrong agrees. Reluctantly.
Yeah, he offers a simple bow, a zui. It's formal, acknowledges fault, but maintains some dignity.
But Bao Yu's not having it.
Nope. Bao Yu refuses the bow. He demands the full kowtow.
His head to the ground bow?
That's
That's forcing total submission.
complete, abject submission. It's not just saying sorry. It's performing his lower status for everyone to see. It's public humiliation.
And Jiarui pushes him to do it.
He does. He whispers this incredibly telling proverb to Jinrong to convince him. Killing is nothing more than touching the head to the ground. It's the ultimate concession. Do this, and it's over. It acknowledges how devastating the act is, but frames it as the only way out.
And Jinrong does it. He kowtows.